This video is a continuation of my investigation into Intel X710, a 10 gigabit networking card and the issues I've been having with it. The card seems to have problems when using aggregated LACP bond and cannot achieve speeds higher than 6 megabits on upload. But out of 2 Proxmox clusters, I'm only having this issue on one of them. Thankfully, the journey comes to an end this time. I was kinda surprised the previous video did so well, especially compared to my 2 previous uploads. Go check them out, I really did put a lot of effort into them. And that got me motivated to double my efforts with diagnosing this issue. I got a lot of suggestions from your comments as to what may be the problem, and it gave me a lot of ideas as to what to try. I do wanna address some points though. Is this a home lab? No. I guess I wasn't super clear about that for people who don't know me. Those are servers from my workplace. I currently work as a systems and network administrator for an academic institution which happens to have 2 data centers and some HPC resources. Some time ago I thought it might be interesting to document some interesting aspects of my job, hence the YouTube channel. Can't you get another 10 gig card? Kinda. I have some spare 10 gigs, but ideally I want to keep the servers as they came, you know, for inventory, warranty and other purposes like this. I also wanted to tackle this issue since it seemed interesting. Isn't it overheating? There is a very low chance of that. Sometimes yes, stuff can arrive with poorly attached heatsinks, so I checked for that. Bad batches do happen. But this is a proper 2U server with more than enough airflow mounted in a cool rack within a data center. 18 degrees Celsius is the constant inlet temperature. If those aren't optimal work conditions for a measly 10 watt 10 gig NIC, I don't know what is. Now that we have this out of the way, here are more tests I've done. Running different Linux distros with kernel versions 4, 5 and 6? Check. Making sure the aggregated interface has 10 gig speed set? Check. Making sure it's not the auto-negotiation issue? Check. None of those helped anything. Next, I proceeded to check out different SFPs. As soon as I took out the current ones, I thought I fucked it up and the story is over. But it didn't go as easy as you might think. Thankfully, we have lots of SFPs in the data center and even an OpticsWare programmer. I've tested Intel branded SFPs as well as reprogrammed ones. In all of those configurations, the problem still persisted or the link wouldn't go up. In the enterprise world, it's actually quite common for vendors to lock hardware. It varies obviously, but it's not uncommon for, let's say, Mellanox cards to work only with Mellanox branded optics, or Dell storage array to only work with Dell branded drives. Sometimes it can get silly, but it is how it is. SFP swapping didn't help anything, so I finally took out the heavy artillery. Juniper ACX 7024. It has 24 ports that can act as either 1, 10 or 25 gigabit and 4 100 gigabit ports. And it's small enough so I can place it whenever I want for my hackish needs. The idea is that maybe for some reason the NIC has troubles with the switch itself, which would be weird, but I can imagine this happening. Why do I have a free ACX 7024 lying around?
Don't worry about it.
When configured in an identical way under ACX, everything just works. Why doesn't the single Intel card work under EX4550? It's time to TCP dump. I'm saying this confidently, but I don't know whether this will yield any answers. Newsflash, it didn't. But now I'm fluent in LACP packets, and more importantly, I came across the actual solution to my problem. It was the LLDP. For those that don't know, LLDP stands for Link Layer Discovery Protocol, and it's mainly used to advertise the identity of network endpoint. Intel X700 series cards have inbuilt LLDP support on the firmware level.
Okay, so this next bit I got wrong and only realized after the recording. The firmware prevents LLDP packets from reaching operating system, but according to Thomas Kren wiki, Linux network stack needs the LLDP information when LACP is configured. Thus it gets weird. I do think this explanation is lacking and there's more to it, but let's leave it at that for now.
Surprisingly, this issue is well known. It didn't come up during my initial searches because seemingly nobody connected I40 kernel messages or 6 megabit cap to it. It's also very weird how this is only a problem when connected to some 10 gig switches. I have no answer as to why that happened and why everything worked under ACX7024.
Don't worry about it.
If you own this Intel NIC and you are not using LACP, you can sleep soundly. But if you plan on bonding the interfaces, you can check whether LLDP is turned on by using ETH tool. The disable FW LLDP flag should be set to on. Very important thing. You need to disable LLDP on every single interface on the card. It's not a global setting, or at least it wasn't in my case. This is also the reason why I haven't noticed this sooner. I disabled LLDP only on a single interface and assumed that the setting is global. Sadly, manipulating this setting is highly dependent on the motherboard you are running. I could not change it from the OS with ETH tool, only via BIOS settings. I am happy this got solved because it saved me a ton of trouble. I'll post an update on every forum I asked about this problem, so hopefully no one in the future will have to scratch their head this hard. It seems that Intel X710 is a popular NIC because we literally got another batch of servers for a totally different project, and they also have X710 installed in them. Talk about a small world. Well, at least what I learned is mine, and now it is also yours. On a closing note, I should finally be able to find more time and actually stream what I promised in Supercomputing 2024 video. Remember to like, subscribe and spread the word. And I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!